What is up, everybody? DB Dwayne Bryant here. Happy Tuesday morning. We're going to talk a little MLB. You guys probably know that I am a big SDQL guy as a situational handicapper. I love the SDQL database. You can uncover so many high percentage situational angles on these games. I'm just going to spend a few minutes. I'm going to dive into a few of the trends that I found today. I'm going to share my screen here so you guys can see how I do this. And I use the killersports.com database, their SDQL database, to run these queries. So I'm going to take myself off the screen, and so you guys can see this maybe a little better. And the first one I'm going to do here, and again, these are all active trends for today. Before I get into that, though, guys, do me a big favor and please hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button and hit the bell for notifications so you do not miss out when I post a video or a live stream. So let's get into these trends here for today. The first one is going to involve Mets pitcher Carlos Carrasco. And the trend says that since 2020, the over is a perfect 12-0 when Carlos Carrasco starts against an opponent with a win percentage between 53 and 62%. So what that looks like in the database as we type in this query, we're going to start with season is greater than or equal to 2020. The starter, Carlos Carrasco. And the opponent's winning percentage, and there's more than one way you can do this. You can do it, opponent's winning percentage is less than or equal to 62, and opponent's winning percentage is greater than or equal to 53. And that should give us, as you can see right down here, OU over under 12-0. These games went over by an average right here of 5.7 runs per game. It tells you right down here under the runs column, the team scored 6 runs per game. The opponent scored 7.67. And it shows you each individual game that this qualified for. You can see the 12 overs. And it is applicable today as Carrasco faces the Braves and Bryce Elder. The other way to do that as far as the winning percentage goes, and the way I normally do it, just because it's quicker, is I'll set it up like this. So now, and again, I'm going to hit the button, but you can see it's the exact same result. It's just a shorter way to run the same query. And guys, if you guys have any queries that you guys would like me to look up while I'm on here, drop them in the comments, and I'll do some of the ones if I can. I'm not an expert in SDQL. I would say I'm probably an intermediate, but if I can do it, I'd be more than happy to look them up for you. The next one I'm going to do that's going to apply for today involves Dane Dunning, and it says that since May 29th of last season, we're going to look at Dunning when his team is off a win. So this time, instead of season, we're going to be looking at the date. So the date is greater than or equal to, and we always put the year, then the 2-digit month, and then the 2-digit day. So that is May 29th of last year. The starter is Dane Dunning. And the small p, colon, and then a capital W means that his team's previous game was a win. So if we run that, we see here that Dane Dunning and his team are 0-10 straight up since May 29th of last season, when he starts and his team is off a win. And again, it's going to show you each game that this applied to. You can see they were all losses. And you can see at the bottom here that it does apply today with the Rangers at home as a favorite against the St. Louis Cardinals. I don't know if that one's going to continue today. The Rangers are pretty hot, but we'll see. I mean, this is why I look these up. And one thing I do need to mention too is that I am never, and I don't recommend that you ever base any trend or any bet based on any one trend or angle. The way I handicap these games, I run a ton of these SDQL queries. I have a ton of them saved, and I'm looking for compounded edges. Okay, I want several high percentage angles leaning one way in a game. And I don't even need a high or a large sample size. I'm more concerned with how recent the data is and how much of a margin these angles won by. And I showed you that other one that won by over 5 runs per game. That's the kind of thing that I'm looking for. I'm more worried about that than I am the sample size of the games. So let's move on to another one that is active today. And this one involves Jesus Luzardo. And we're going to look up, and this looks like it's just from this season. So we're going to go back to the season. It was 2023. Starter equals Jesus Luzardo. Know how to spell, that would help. And we're looking at just his starts at night. Capital NGT, all in caps. That is just nighttime games, which in this system, it's games that start later than 6 p.m. Eastern. Those are the ones that are considered the night games. So if we run this query, we see right here, Jesus Luzardo and his team are 7-0, winning by an average of 2.29 runs per game. And that's actually pretty impressive considering that here, if you look, the average line on these games was only minus 105. So it's not like he was a large favorite in those games and went 7-0. You can see over here, ROI, 95.1%. And again, that's active today. Luzardo and the Marlins are decent-sized home favorites against Zach Greinke and the Royals. Anybody, again, if you guys have any trends that you would like me to look up, feel free to drop them in the live chat. I will be checking that frequently, and I will run the ones that I do know how to run. Again, I'm not an expert at this by any means. I'm probably an intermediate is what I consider myself with that. So before I go any further and do the rest of the trends for today, just a quick reminder, if you guys could head on over to my page at WagerTalk. You can get there by going to dbbets.com. You can see over here on the right-hand side, I do have a strong MLB best bet going today. We're having a great MLB season. We're up almost 29 units or 29% bankroll gain. $100 per unit better is up almost $2,900 this season with my MLB plays. And the one today, it's backed by several of these high percentage situational angles that combined have gone 24-2 for 92% winners. You can get that right now over at dbbets.com. So let's go back to the SDQL database and let's run a few more queries here. The next one, and we just spoke about Zach Greinke. This next one is going to involve him, but this is going to look at the totals. This is going to be something, this is going to have several parameters. For this one, we're going to go back to the 2022 season. So I'm going to need to add greater than or equal to 2022. Our starter, Zach Greinke. These are just his road starts. Capital A is away, so these are just his road starts in that time frame. And I'm going to do just the ones where the total is either 8 or 8.5. So we've got Zach Greinke on the road going back to last season with a total of 8 or 8.5. You can see here over under 6-0-1. So 6 overs, no unders, 1 push. Went over by an average of 3.64 runs per game. I like that. And here at the bottom, you can see that does apply for today's game against Luzardo and the Marlins. I'm assuming that total is still at 8. Now, sometimes when the lines change, the database, isn't updated right away. So sometimes you got to watch the line moves. Things will you'll think they qualify, but then the line moves and then it doesn't. So something to keep an eye on there as well. The next trend I've got is involving Mitch Keller. Again, we're going to use the date. So I'm going to go back and change this to date greater than or equal to. And again, we do the 4-digit year, then we do the 2-digit month, and then the 2-digit day. Assuming that I can read my own chicken scratch, that is August 23rd, 2019. Starter is Mitch Keller. We are looking at Mitch Keller as a home favorite. Capital H, capital F is home favorite. And you can actually do those separately. Like I could go like that. And it's the same thing. I just try to shorten it up as much as I can. And we're also looking at the line being higher than minus 110. And I've got an extra L there. So we've got since August 23rd of 2019, we're looking at Mitch Keller starts when he's a home favorite of more than minus 110. And as you can see here, it's 0, 9, and 2 over under. So no overs, 9 unders, 2 pushes. Stayed under by an average of 2.64 points per game. And you can see here, this is applicable today against the Oakland Athletics. The last one I'm going to do for today, unless you guys have any for me, and let me go back to the comments. I'm not seeing anybody. I do see Justin says, "What's up, everyone?" Justin, how are you doing? I appreciate you tuning in here on my maiden voyage of this trend report. Let's go back to the database here, and the last one I have involves Freddie Peralta. And this one, if I'm reading this correctly, is for his entire career. So I don't need a date or a season. We're going to use Freddie Peralta. I know you can probably see that my past queries involving Freddie Peralta are coming up on the screen, but I'm not going to shortcut it. I'll type them in one at a time. So we're looking at capital H. We're looking at just his home starts. The line is going to be between minus 150 and even money, minus 100. And the total for the game is going to be greater than or equal to 8. So Freddie Peralta at home, the line is between even money and minus 150, and the total is 8 or higher. And again, no date or season parameter, so that means this is a career number. And for his career, you can see 11 and 1 over under. So 11 overs, 1 under. They went over by an average of 3 1/3 runs per game. And this one is also in play today against Kyle Gibson and the Orioles. And again, watch out for the line moves. Sometimes if the line moves, it'll take one of these queries out of play. But as it stands right now, it looks like this one is in play. But always check your lines to make sure that they're still active. That, my friends, is going to do it for this maiden voyage of my MLB trend report. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any of the videos and live streams that I'm doing. Oh, looks like we got one here. Hang on. I'm not leaving just yet. Justin says, I appreciate the info. Justin, I appreciate you tuning in. Love it. What do we got here? Dodgers today with Tony Gonsolin. Darian, do you have any other parameters that you want me to look at? Tony Gonsolin at home, Tony Gonsolin. If I because right now the only thing I can do is I can go back here and I can go Tony Gonsolin and on the road. All right, Darian wants to know Tony Gonsolin on the road off a loss. You got it, my friend. Tony Gonsolin on the road, small p, and then a colon and a capital L. The small p means previous game. That's the team's previous game, not the pitcher's previous start. If we wanted to look up Gonsolin's previous start, we would make that a lowercase s, but we're looking at the team's previous start. The team's previous game was a loss, and this is going to be a career number. So in his career, straight up 9-6. Average line minus 150, ROI 4.4%. You can see that is active today against Luke Weaver and the Reds. And there's really no limit to the amount of different. Oh, you want to know versus the Reds? I think I looked this up this morning, and I think. Do you want when the team is off a loss and he's starting on the road against the Reds, or just when he's starting on the road against the Reds? Well, I can shoot both because I think, unless, again, my memory's not the greatest, but I think he's only made one start on the road against the Reds. Oh, my memory's not that bad. Yeah, you can see Tony Gonsolin has made one career road start against the Reds. It was an 8-2 win. He was a minus 185 favorite. And actually, you can go, if you click on recap, it'll actually show you the box score from that game. And you can see that Gonsolin went 5 innings, gave up. Where'd it go? There we go. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts, and it looks like both runs were on solo homers. So that was Gonsolin's lone career start at the Great American Ballpark. And I don't know if, well, let's see. Were the Dodgers off a loss coming into that game? They were. Because if they weren't off a loss, this game would have disappeared. So obviously, this was Gonsolin on the road off a loss in Cincinnati. It was an 8-2 winner as a minus 185 favorite. All right, what do we got here? Carlos Carrasco on the road off a loss. All right, let's do it. Carlos Carrasco. We can leave that there. We can leave that there. We just need to change the starter. Carlos Carrasco on the road when his team is off a loss. Career number 28 and 22 straight up. Average line minus 110, so a decent 8.4% ROI. Looks like over under. Looks like it went about 57% to the under. Nice long list of games that qualified there. Now, if you just want Carrasco with the Mets, you could also add the parameter team equals Mets. So this will tell you Carlos Carrasco only with the Mets on the road when the Mets are off a loss. 4 and 3 straight up with an average line of minus 104, 11% ROI. 5 and 2 on the run line, 22.7% ROI. And 5-1 and 1 over under. That's interesting. So 5 overs, 1 under, and a push went over by an average of 2.4 runs per game. Also active today against the Braves. All right, guys, that will do it for me. I'm going to get you guys off the air here so you can head over to WagerTalk TV and check out WagerTalk today. Again, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell to receive notifications whenever I go live or post a video. Head over to dbbets.com, grab my 4% best bet for today. And as always, good luck with all of your wagers today.